My mom once told me that the only thing more dangerous than the dead, but without the living, we might as well be dead. We all need people we can count on. And that's not just about words, but action. Having the strength to put someone else's life ahead of your own. If we're willing to do that, then maybe we can get back some piece of what we've lost.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Walking Dead series by The Verdict's In. I'm your host, Nicole.
I'm Gary.
And today we're talking about The Walking Dead, Season 11, Episode 20, entitled What's Been Lost. Gary, what are your overall thoughts of the episode?
This is not the episode I expected to have 3 episodes away from because this is it, right?
Yeah, these are the final episodes.
So, yeah, this is not the episode I expected to have. I thought it would come a little harder than this. A little better, more excitement, but overall it was just okay. It was okay, and I'm only judging it from like the standpoint of this being it,
right?
Like they better start a new series. That's how I'm judging it. For 2 episodes away now?
Yeah, probably 2 or 3, something like that.
Yeah, for it to be that, it was just okay.
Yeah, I didn't really care for the episode. I don't like Hornsby as a character, and they just let him talk and talk, which was funny when Carol mentions it. And then even his death, trying to give him like this big old death and pan out, like that didn't make our likes or dislikes, but it was just kind of like, y'all doing the most. Like, who cares Hornsby died? I mean, not like that, but he was not a big character to where his death like almost pretty much ends on his death, like you know?
Yeah.
So I just thought the episode was just okay. And I'm very glad that we decided to watch House of Dragons Sunday Night Live versus this Sunday Night Live, because we had to make a choice. And even though House of Dragons, it was just okay, it was still the best decision that we made, I feel.
It was the same to me. In fact, no, I think that's probably a worse decision.
What?
Because that was actually the season finale.
Yeah.
You can't have an okay season finale.
Yeah, but it was still a lot happened there. But all right, let's get into our likes. First one is Yumiko coming in and punching the guard, like when we first see her, and when she storms into Pamela's office and then she like turns on and punches the guard. I'm like, yeah, go Yumiko, because I've kind of been judging Yumiko since she's got here, because as soon as she came in, she assimilated to Commonwealth culture. She started dressing that way, going back to her lawyer duties, ended up like sort of dry snitching on her brother, and I called him Paul last week, apparently his name is Tommy or whatever, making him become a doctor again. Not making, but she dry snitched without dry snitching, and I just haven't been feeling her since she's been in Commonwealth. But this episode, she did a really good job, and I just like when she came in punching, I was like, yes.
I think you had to explain that a little more. So why were you mad that she adjusted to the Commonwealth life like so quick?
Well, I just hate all of it. Like, I feel like they all got a second or third chance. And I know we've said it again, like before, so that's why I wouldn't want to go too deep into it. But every time we watch them at Commonwealth, I'm like, why make the same mistakes? You guys saw history fail. You guys are still making the same mistakes. Like, all this capitalism and this and that, like you had a second, third chance to like start a new life and work together and grow as a community. And even then hearing about the train later in Carol's like conquer or connect, and we know how they are. It's probably going to be like a conquer type situation. It's just greed.
Yeah, well, I think I respect somebody more who adjusts to the Commonwealth ways, go back to normal, than somebody that just adjusts to the apocalypse. Like if someone come in and they're just already in action, already have everything prepared for the zombie apocalypse, I'm judging you.
Those are called preppers. Yeah, and I see what you're saying, because I remember when Daryl first got to Alexandria, we were kind of judging him like, Daryl, put your guard down. Like, you don't have to be cutting a rat or cutting a squirrel on the food, and they got ovens and stoves.
When they just offer you a burger.
Yeah, there's a burger right there. So I get it that I'm sounding contradicting, even though that was years ago, so I have a right to change how I feel about it. But yeah. I guess just seeing Yumiko, all of them in their uniform, in their like, outfits, they're like, corporate outfits, it just pisses me off seeing them. Like, why are you guys playing this game? Like, you could have started a whole new world and you decided to still have money be like
well, everything is monetary. If they started a whole new world, if they was trading rocks, food, I mean, it's still money.
I get that, but now there's like the civilians. They keep referring to the people as civilians versus who the heck are the rest of you guys? Aren't you all the civilians? And like making that socialist and that capitalist and that like classist system. Like there's these people and then there's the civilians that just do the regular. I just hate it because it's like you had a chance to do something different and instead you just fell in line to what was already in place.
Well, before you go in somebody's house, you had to wipe your feet on the rug, right?
Yeah.
They went in the Commonwealth. That was someone else's home. You can't go in someone else's home and do what you want to do and they just put your feet up on the couch like what was that, Dave Chappelle? Charlie Murphy with Rick James. Like your couch. You can't do that. So they didn't have a chance to start completely over once they got there or at all. Because if you think about it, when they got to Alexandria, I'm sorry. When they got to Alexandria, they had to fall in line there. Hilltop, they had their set of rules. Oceanside, their set of rules. Commonwealth, their set of rules. In order to start all the way over with the same group of people that we have, they would probably have to decide on a spot or just... In fact, they tried to start over. It didn't work. Remember they had to cancel?
The what cancel?
They had to cancel like somebody from each of the communities or whatever. They all met up at... I think they met up at Hilltop.
Oh, okay. The council. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I mean, I like that.
But they had that, but it didn't work for them.
How did that not work for them? When did that not work?
It didn't work. Well, you see, there's no Hilltop right now. That's gone.
Yeah, but it's not because they weren't working together. It was always outside forces. It was not because they weren't working together.
Well, I'm not saying that it didn't work because they weren't working together. I'm just saying it didn't work. It came to an end. They weren't able to get to here fast enough or get there fast enough, and then they didn't know each other. It was like having 3 different cities, 3 different towns. Nobody knew each other, and that's how who got in there? Whispers.
The Whispers, yeah.
That's how they were able to get in there because the people didn't know each other.
Right.
So guess what? They had to shut their walls again. And here I'm over regroup. This.
Yeah.
You're over that. You're over that.
And so you know what? You learn from those mistakes. Though.
Yeah, but I'm saying that it's not like they didn't try, but there's always risk in anything you do.
Yeah, but that's not like, oh, it failed. Let's just go back to the old ways. Like you keep trying.
Well, it failed, but you have to understand that some people are not mad at the old way.
Yeah, well, clearly.
There's some people that through this whole zombie apocalypse from the first episode, people are wishing for the old ways.
Maybe. There's people that's wishing for the old ways now. Doesn't mean that it makes it right. There's people that may want...
But it doesn't make it wrong either. You can't tell anybody what to wish for.
Well...
You can't tell anybody what to hope for, what to wish for.
I don't even want to get too deep or too political. We'll just keep it to the show.
I don't want to get political or anything, but I'm saying that you can't tell anybody how to feel. When a zombie apocalypse was happening, you had Bob getting drunk, wishing to go back to the old days.
Bob was getting drunk to just go get through it.
Yeah, but I'm saying, what would you rather somebody go, get drunk out there to get through it, or they're through it now, they're the Commonwealth, and they're trying to live life as normal as they possibly can.
All right. I think we'll just have to agree to disagree. Next is Eugene. He was talking to Yumiko and he told her no matter how bleak things look in this moment, this is not the end. And I think saying that conversation plus the conversation she had with Tommy, and then as she read her speech, she remembered that oath that she took when she did go to law school and everything, and hearing the word justice come out, and she's realizing, like, I'm saying justice, but I'm not actually going to give justice, made her change her mind in the end when she does give her speech. But I like that conversation because Eugene has come so far, and Eugene would have been like, get me out of here, I'm scared, like shivering in his boots. But this time he's like, yo, do what you got to do, but it's not over for everybody else. And if that means, sacrificing me for everybody else, I'm fine with that.
You can sacrifice me, or just know our people, they're going to make it through.
They're going to make it through,
They're going to be okay. They're always okay.
So I like that. Which brings us into Yumiko's speech, which is the next like. And I like that she honored her brother, and she said seeking justice even if it affects you personally. So like a lot of people don't try to do the right thing if it's like, well, that's not going to help me out, or oh, if we all split it up, that means I only get 2, but if I sneak something, I can get 4 of it. Like, or that may not be the best example.
I think the only reason she honored her brother, because if her brother comes up missing right now, it's going to look funny. It's going to bring attention to the Commonwealth, and attention that should have been brought to the Commonwealth already with the recording. That's why I don't understand that people heard the recording. They know what's going on. And all they had to say was, hey, he killed my son. He was over that. What they say, that they manufactured it?
Yeah, I keep thinking, how do you guys think he was involved in the killing? Y'all saw Sebastian get killed.
People saw the killing.
You heard the tape. And then Sebastian ran after the girl. Like, how? I don't even see how they fooled them. But then I thought about the real world. I'm like, yeah, if you say something enough, people will just believe it, you know? So that's why I just get confused right now when I'm like, wait, why are they sitting here listening like Sebastian was not the evil? Not saying he deserved to die because he was evil, but like, that's not what happened.
Yeah, that's not what happened. And they know that Eugene is not responsible for killing them.
And how did Eugene kill those people to turn into zombies if he was upstage working the music? Like, come on. So, yeah. But yeah, I do agree actually with your point saying that, hey, she brought up her brother, reminded everyone of his position, just in case he does go missing, like, hey, now that she did what she did. So I thought that was very smart.
Yeah.
And I just really like that. I really like that whole scene. So, and like she said, even if it affects you, I thought when she said it affects you personally, I felt like she knows she's going against what her brother said to do, which is just keep your head down and go with the flow. And she's saying, yeah, that's the easy way, but I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, her brother been trying to do that from the beginning.
That's what
he was willing to bake cakes.
Yeah. I mean, that's what he enjoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm saying he was willing to do that with the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Instead of being a surgeon.
Yeah. I mean, well, that
so,
shows...
I'm just saying, it shows that he's all about keeping his head down.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, his hours are probably horrible now at the hospital.
Yeah.
I liked when Hornsby was trying to like plead his case with Carol and Daryl at the end. He was like, you heard me. I was talking. I was telling you guys how I want to make, Commonwealth better. And she's like, yeah, I heard you only because you wouldn't shut up. I did like that.
Well, yeah, I had no choice but to hear you.
I could not get a feel, though, for Carol and Daryl's, like, I couldn't get a feel for what they were up to this episode. Like, even when next thing you know, it was like cut to, unless I missed something, it was just Carol and Hornsby walking, and then he's like, I hope Daryl's gonna be okay. And I'm like, well, where did Daryl go? Or did I miss it twice? Because where did he say he was going?
Remember, Daryl stayed. He told them to go. He was going to stay and try to fight the troopers, keep them off them.
Oh, okay.
So they ran off while he was still in there. I don't know how they got so far ahead of him. I don't understand that.
Yeah,
but
especially when they were driving, they were Carol and Hornsby were on foot.
No, I'm saying I don't know how Hornsby and Carol got so far ahead of Daryl. Unless when they ran off, Daryl just didn't know what direction they went into.
Well, that's probably why he hid under their car. Maybe they didn't. He stopped to hide under the car to see where the stormtroopers were going. Because remember, that's where he came from. All right, any more likes before moving to dislikes?
Well, this is not a like, but this is funny. When Daryl said they took everybody, they even took dog.
Yeah.
Like, that's messed up.
Right.
What did they do with dog?
Yeah, what are they doing with him? Was he on that bus at the end?
Probably was on the bus. Probably was. And what are they doing with the people on the bus?
I don't know. And then injecting them, they inject Ezekiel in his neck, and it made me wonder, like, is that going to affect what was going on with him, with his tumor? I mean, I know the tumor's gone.
Were they trying to put him to sleep?
I'm guessing so. But then why? Why put him asleep? Maybe, and then why have the thing over their head if you're going to just put them to sleep?
Right. Well, maybe it's a long ride. And if it's a long ride, they don't have time to try to secure them, play security.
Yeah.
Or they probably just don't want to hear their mouth. Like, yeah, go to sleep. And I'm surprised they didn't have that person. You always had a person with the bag over their head. Where are you taking me?
right. Everybody was just chilling, quiet, just going with it.
You better let me know where you're taking me.
But no, it reminds me, one doesn't, but it sort of does, when they were in the train car in Terminus. And Rick was like, yo, y'all be ready. Like, so I feel like they're just getting ready. But at the same time, without Rick there, sometimes you don't even realize how much, like, the leader, like, oh, they'll be fine. But Rick was such a big part of the group. So much stuff that's happened. I'm like, that wouldn't have happened if Rick was there. I feel. It wouldn't have, a lot of stuff wouldn't have happened if Rick was there.
But we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
Rick could have had a stormtrooper outfit on.
I can see Rick. He put on the police patrol, whatever, at Alexandria.
Yeah, put a sheriff hat on and everything.
Yeah.
So Rick probably be running the stormtroopers.
Yeah, he'd probably be in charge.
So we don't know.
All right, dislikes. Dweedledee and Dweedledum, they just walked right past the stormtroopers when they were chasing after Carol. And I guess I didn't like this because I'm confused on who's all working for Pamela. She has stormtroopers that are doing her dirty work on her behalf, but then she has like plainclothes villains that are also doing her dirty work. And like,
I think the plainclothes people are Hornsby people, right?
But then why were they?
Why they work for Pamela?
Yeah, because they were the ones that were attacking everybody, and Hornsby was already in the cell when they were attacking everyone.
Right. Hornsby people are dead already. I'm sorry. Remember, he fed his friend.
Well, that was only one, because remember Hornsby told Pamela, if I die, I have contingencies. So like, how many people did he have?
Right. So yeah, maybe the plainclothes people were Pamela's people also.
Okay. I won't go too long to this because I already said it, and I think I say it every week, but them just like having their little business meeting, shaking hands, like, you know, her little like council members or whoever in Pamela's office, and they're like, yes, I think we can, all just looking like stupid idiots with their stupid clothes on. I just hate it. I hate seeing them with those clothes on. So that's it. I'll just move on, but I hate it.
All right, so let's say they start the world over. What do you want them to have on? You want them with shorts on, dress how they want to dress? I mean,
come as you are. Yes, come as you are.
But so what if they feel comfortable wearing that? Well, if that's how they are, like you see Eugene have his little outfits and everything, his little vest, button-up shirt, whatever he wears. Pastor Gabriel still have on his pastoring clothes. What do you call it? The cloak, the whatever it is. Mm-hmm. He still has that on. So what are you expecting people to wear?
I guess when you put it that way, that they're comfortable in these clothes, I don't see how you could be comfortable in these clothes, but fine. If that's what they choose to wear, let them. It just looks silly to me every time I see them.
That's why I asked you what you prefer. Would you prefer them to go back to the motherland with it?
No, but dress like just casual, not even business casual, just casual, just be comfortable.
I may be with you on that. If y'all want to go back and we all walk around naked, let's do it.
That's too far, but just casual is what I would prefer.
A nudist colony.
I guess I just don't like all these like little political business meetings, and I just don't like it.
Well, it makes sense. It makes sense to me to know that they have that and know that money is still power, that people are controlled. Because we seen that when they were coming. You saw people with their briefcases full of money. And we spoke about it then. We were saying, like, why do you have money? What's the need of having money?
Right.
And we see that there were some people that may have been trying to buy their way in.
Yeah.
Or buy a position.
Yeah.
Some kind of power. And everyone that we seen in the business meeting, those seem to be the people that's running this.
Yeah, because
we thought it was Pamela
and Hornsby. Yeah, so now they did show, hey, there's more than just Pamela and Hornsby,
right?
And the stormtroopers. But I guess I just don't like it. There's nothing else to say. I don't like it.
Yeah, but I'm saying that seeing them at the beginning made a lot of other things in the beginning when we got there.
Yeah, when we saw all that money,
right.
And they took Princess's $2 bill. She had to get it back. So.
Right.
Okay, so when Pamela goes and sees, like, Sebastian's dead body, his dead zombie body, and she's, like, picking up the coin all sad and shit, he's all gross looking, I'm like, well, what did you expect to eventually happen? You were playing these games, and if you really loved your son, you could have just buried your son before he even turned into a zombie. But you let him turn into a zombie, and then after turning into a zombie, you had someone in there that had to, like, literally fight for their life. So eventually, what did you think was going to end up happening to your son? Or your dead son.
Yeah, that was weird.
She's like, oh no. I'm like, he was already dead. And if you didn't want his body mutilated, you didn't even have to bring him to the cell and play these games.
Yeah, she could have had him cremated.
Yeah, or buried before he even turned a zombie. They could have put him out and then buried him. So, yeah. All right, this next one, you sort of mentioned more, but it was the jail that was looking gross when Eugene was in his jail cell. And it's just like, it looked like a gross, old, dirty jail cell.
Yeah, well, you see everything is still mind control. They're still messing with people.
Oh, yeah. So they want them to just be, miserable.
They want jail to be how jail is now.
Yeah.
Like, when you go to or look at a jail now, it's not clean, it's not this. And you would think that it will look better in the Commonwealth since, I mean, it's a small community. And you have a lot of people working, clean that thing up. But, I mean, they're trying to break you.
Right.
And you usually see that with jails. hospitals. It's like they keep them in a certain condition. It's certain places in certain conditions to try to, I don't want to go to jail, so I can understand being here from going to jail, but like the hospital, you tell me your hospital is
hospital looked fine, didn't it? It looked fine to me.
Well, yeah, that hospital looked fine, but I'm saying that, I mean, we've all seen hospitals that didn't look so good.
Yeah.
But I think my biggest dislike, it wasn't actually the jail when I was mentioning it. At that point, I was kind of talking about Hornsby. I brought up the jail, not the cell he was in, but the one that Eugene was in, because it was just filthy also. Mm-hmm. But with Hornsby, I was really talking about, before we got to that scene, I didn't like how they changed his character. Like, this wasn't Hornsby. I don't care if you wanted to make him go crazy, but once he snapped out of it, it was like a new person. He was just too scared for me. He turned into Eugene. Mm-hmm. Like when a walker grabbed his leg. I mean, we seen him with a knife to his face.
And not flinch.
Right. Not flinch. Just smile, say something to him. And now all of a sudden, a walker. But it could be trauma.
Yeah.
It could be trauma.
But I didn't get why he was crazy already. And then you were like, well, we don't know how long he's been in there. Because he's talking like he's been there forever. And I'm like, what the heck?
Well, he's been there for a while. But anytime you're locked in the cell with a person trying to eat you.
Yeah.
Anytime, it doesn't matter if you're in there for 24 hours, 48 hours. That's too damn long.
True.
With me, I'm not going to hold you. I'm not going to lie to you, man. An hour is too long for me. 30 minutes. Like, let me out of here.
I saw either a TikTok or was on Reddit somewhere, and they were talking about, I think they were talking about this injustice of, I think it was on Reddit, and people were talking about injustice of, like, tell me a time when the jail was wrong or whatever, you had a bad situation. And someone would start talking about how they were, like, held illegally in jail for like a weekend when they were like a kid, when they were like 16, and different people talked about different things. And they were saying, one person mentioned that they were like there for like 3 days and isolated, like in solitary confinement, and they're like they already started feeling like they were going crazy, and they're like they can't imagine what people that are in solitary confinement for years. So I did take that, since I just saw that post the other day, I did take that in consideration, because I was like, how is Hornsby like this? But then I was like, well, maybe if it's been a few days, possibly. But I guess I thought it was like the same day or the next day. Well, they kept saying 48 hours, so it had to be within 48 hours.
But we knew it wasn't the same day because the body was gone.
Real true. That's true.
All you saw was bones and blood.
Yeah, I didn't get what was happening. All right, next dislike is how or why did the Commonwealth leave all those walkers there so close to the community where they go, where Hornsby and Carol go, and they've done it a couple times now. And all I'm thinking is, once again, I guess it's just pissing me off because it just reminds me of real world. Once again, you're wasting time and resources on bullshit when you could be actually making things better for the community. So all I'm thinking is, why do you guys have walkers this close to your community? If you're able to walk there from Commonwealth, it's too close. When Sebastian made them go into the house and they have to get through all those walkers, why are these walkers there? Y'all have 50,000 people. I'm not saying you have to kill all these walkers in one day, but don't wait for it to become a threat to the community. Be proactive and not reactive. And I thought the same thing when Carol and Hornsby went into that tunnel today. I'm like, why are they even here? Y'all should have been cleaning this place out.
Well, walkers is kind of security also. If you're protected inside the wall, which Commonwealth is, or supposed to be protected inside the wall, I mean, it's good to have those walkers out there for security purposes, or so people won't even make it to the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
Like, let's say somebody's walking through the little tunnel to get to Commonwealth. I mean, first of all, people don't know Commonwealth is there. Our people didn't know it was there.
Right.
They had to walk through walkers also. That's when bringing back up the walkers with the briefcases, with the money and everything. Well, most of them were dead, but
yeah,
you get what I'm saying. So I think it's a good security measure to keep walkers out there, or to get people off your scent.
Yeah.
Like, everything just seemed normal. I'm bit.
Right.
Like, if you start walking and if you're in a zombie apocalypse right now, and you just get to an area and you don't see zombies for like miles around, right, something's up. Like, hey, there's somebody securing this area.
Yeah.
There's something here.
That's true. I didn't think of that, and that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. Well, my last dislike is a small one, but That black female stormtrooper, no. No. The one that was standing next to Pamela during the Yumiko speech, I'm like,
Yeah.
That's not us. That's not. I already excused Mercer for being a stormtrooper, but I'm sorry, a black female stormtrooper. I can't speak for all black females, but I'll speak on behalf of myself, and it just would be a no. Like, it just wouldn't happen. And I'm glad that they, were trying to have some diversity in the show, blah, 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 but they could have gave her a different role. She could have been the audience, but her being up there standing next to Pamela on that bullshit, I would hope that we wouldn't do that bullshit. Like, sit up there and listen to this nonsense and just be like, yep, she about to lie on these people, but yep. But anywho, that's me personally.
Well, you're wrong. You're wrong. There's females inside the prisons right now, securing and guarding a place. There's a lot of women officers, so I don't understand how they just came in your head that we wouldn't do that.
I'm not talking about regular officer, because Michonne was an officer in Alexandria. Rosita. Well, Rosita is a stormtrooper too. I guess, yeah, I don't know. I just saw her and I was like, why are you there, girl? Like, what happened?
But I think you're looking at it as in front of the scenes,
yeah.
from behind the scenes. And you see what's going on. You see the bullshit.
Yeah.
You see the group meetings. You know they playing online. She don't know that. And even if she do, I mean, so what?
I was like, oh, sis is in the sunken place. What is she doing up there?
I look at it like this. After we saw the bullshit that happened with everybody seeing what was going on, what happened to her son, and now everybody's just okay with this guy going on trial, there's people that's probably scared to get kicked out of this place. They think that this place is the best place for them.
That is true.
They're like, and it's like that right now in today's world. Like, when something messed up happened to people, probably like 60% of people are just glad it's not them. Mm-hmm. And I mean, my numbers might be off, but I think it's something like, I can't remember what the saying is, like 30%, 30% care, the other 30% or 20% fake care.
Yeah.
And, something like that. Like, what's the saying? Like 20% care, 20% fake care, and 60% just glad it's not them.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is all we got. Let's move into listener letters. If you guys would like to be a part of the podcast, hit us up, dead@theverdictsin.com, or on Twitter, or on Facebook, or any other emails that you may have from us. So today we do have an email from Chantel.
Hey, Chantel.
Hey, Chantel. Hope all is well. All right. She goes, I really like this episode, which is saying something since she has never really enjoyed the Carol, Daryl, Buddy adventure episodes. Love the opening narration again. They took us back to everything that Carol and Daryl have been through together. The Sophia reveal, the fall of the prison, which of course made me think of Herschel trying to make his last stand, firing his gun and yelling, "Come on," before the farm fell. Oh, I just got goosebumps thinking about it. I miss him. Okay, here are my thoughts. Yeah, actually, I did really like that opening scene this time because, especially reminding us of Carol's journey, and I was kind of scared because I know Carol's no longer going to be on the Daryl spinoff, so I'm like, oh, are they going to kill her? Now they're showing all this, so I'm like, they're going to kill Carol this episode. So I was surprised. I was happy that she didn't die this episode. All right, she has it sectioned off, so here we go. We're going to start off with Pamela. She goes, I mean, did we ever really trust her in her agreement with our group? The only thing that surprised me was her timing. She jumped the gun and took everyone from Commonwealth instead of playing the long game. Did our people really think they could leave scot-free? She knew where our communities were. Leave scot-free. She knew where our communities were. If we'd been allowed to leave, I would have expected our group to be attacked on the road or once they were settled in at the communities again.
I think Pamela, her reason for moving that quick was the pressure. And that's why they had the opening scene with her in a meeting with the money people. Mm-hmm. There was pressure for her to move and make this all go away and everything get back to normal.
Yeah, because even the money people, when Yumiko came in, she's like, Pamela, tried to play the political game. She's like, oh, everything's okay. We're finishing up this conversation anyways. And you could tell they were looking like, what's going on? But yeah, she moved too fast, and hopefully our people, the ones that did leave, well, only 4 people left, and we know they're still Aaron, when we last left them,
they're going to the ocean side, right?
Okay, did we see them after they had to fight the walkers? But we can assume they're either on their way still or have made it to their destination. So, and then there's still Maggie and Negan that are out. I forgot where they were, but they're out somewhere too. They're not in Commonwealth. Oh, they were. My bad. They were in Commonwealth. Because last time Maggie was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be alone anymore. I'm ready. I'll go back to Alexandria with y'all.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and then she said she really pulled a governor and kept Sebastian alive. This bitch is nuts. Yeah, that's what I thought of. I thought of the governor.
This is worse than the governor. The governor had hope.
Right.
He had a scientist with him.
Right.
He had hope that a cure would come. Everything would be all right. Pamela didn't do that for hope. Mm-hmm. It's almost like, yeah, she is crazy. She's just crazy. There's a difference because sometimes hope can look crazy. And with the governor, that hope kind of looked crazy, but it was still early on.
Right. This is at least 10 years.
Like this, this is years later.
Yeah. All right, Yumiko. When Pamela was telling Yumiko that she was going to have to prosecute Eugene, you guys should have heard me. I literally said, bull fucking shit. And then in unison, Yumi and both I said it was a kangaroo court. You think I read in her lines, wink. You did write her lines. Do you guys think she was always going to defend Eugene? There's a part of me that absolutely thinks so, but she seemed to gain resolve when she heard over the radio that Daryl and Carol had gotten away. Maybe that was just meant to give her that last little push to do the right thing. She was smart to announce her decision in front of everyone. Doing so helps her ensure safety for at least a little while. If something happens to her or Tommy now, it will really look suspicious. God, hope she makes it.
Yeah.
Yeah, good points there. I think she was really planning on going with the flow. And
I don't think so.
You don't think so? You think that was her plan the whole time?
I don't think she planned on going to court at all. I think after her conversation with Eugene and Eugene saying just do it, but Eugene kind of assured her that, hey, our people are going to be all right either or.
Right.
No matter what you do right now, our people is going to be okay. Our people have made it in the past. They'll make it in the future. So I think that Eugene conversation gave her that extra boost to go ahead and do it. Because first, who did she speak to first, Eugene or her brother?
I think her brother.
Yeah, I think she spoke to her brother first to let her brother know what was going on.
Right.
That there could be danger. But I don't think she planned on going to court. I think after the Eugene conversation, Eugene said, hey, let's do this. But just know that everything's going to be okay.
Yeah. I definitely think Eugene's conversation helped. But I don't know. I feel like she was still on the fence. And then, when she did hear the radio that Daryl and Carol was able to get away, I think that kind of did help motivate her. Especially also, you have to remember, she had several conversations. Eugene, her brother, and then Connie, which we didn't even talk about in our likes. Connie was like, yo, I'm never going to give up. Like, and when Connie said, I'm not asking for permission, it just reminded her that you still have rights as a human being to do what you want. I mean, as long as you're not hurting anyone. And Connie, to me, like saying, like, I wasn't asking for permission. I'm here to save my sister. And just kind of reminding Yumiko, like, how strong we could be and we are. Is also like all of it tied into helping her make that decision is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
All right, she got Hornsby. I still don't fully understand Hornsby's relationship to Pamela pre-apocalypse. He mentioned that he was the Milton chauffeur's son, but we're here in were he and Pamela boning, because that dynamic was weird. I always assumed that he was the one who helped build Commonwealth. It was nice to have that confirmed. Loved his final fuck you to Pam, but it involved leaving his lucky charm, the coin, behind, and that's how I knew he was gonna die. Elmo shrugged. He really was broken when Daryl and Carol find him in that cell. It was like he was at rock bottom and ruthless. I'm gonna stop there. She has a little bit more, but when he mentioned the chauffeur's son, I thought he like misspoke because I thought he meant that he was her son's chauffeur.
Yeah, I thought that's what he. I thought that's what he meant.
Yeah,
also.
I was like, they didn't switch that around
because she said that, hey, I helped build this place, but it seems like she treats me like I'm her son's chauffeur or something.
Yeah, no, he did say chauffeur's son, and I was like, he messed up and he meant son's chauffeur. Like I thought, because that's kind of how
he was saying he was somebody's son.
Son, yeah, the chauffeur's son, which makes it even worse. And I'm all about being successful and, having means and all that stuff. But the chauffeur's son, you're telling me the world ends and you're going to just let this lady that was just so happily rich now just run the world because she was already rich pre-apocalypse, it makes me hate Pamela even more. Not that I'm saying like, oh, I hate the rich or whatever, but like when he said, now that it's bringing to me that he was the chauffeur's son and he's kind of looked at himself badly because of that, of what his dad's career was, or maybe he feels that people looked at him bad because of his dad's career, pisses me off even more that he even like helped her get into this power post-apocalypse.
I'm sorry. I don't feel I don't feel any type of way about it. I mean, he was a chauffeur's son. I mean, to me, he made a nice moves for himself.
Yeah, I mean, it is, but
his career has advanced. He went from just being a chauffeur's son to the second man in charge.
I hate that saying, like, oh, my mom was a this and my dad was that. Like, just talking about your humble beginnings. Okay, great. Like, that's how it should be. Like, your parents, whatever their career, should have any determination on like your future. It shouldn't. But
well, sometimes your parents' career is for your future.
It's true. That's true too.
It's just to bring money in to help raise you, put you through school, and apparently his parents did good by him.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to continue. She says, okay. He has always been someone with a scheme, a plan, but he clearly didn't have one then. He was just muttering to himself that there is always a plan, always a way out. It was like a prayer. And remember, he's been largely pampered up to this point. He had to get real down and dirty and chop up his henchmen to feed Sebastian, and it had him shook. He was utterly demoralized and kind of insane. He lost his mind between last episode and this one. Do you guys think he was sincere when he said he hoped Daryl made it? What about when he said he wanted Carol to help him after the Commonwealth fell? Was he really genuine in his desire for something better for the community?
He was. I don't know if he was genuine in his desire for something better, but I'm pretty sure he hoped Daryl would make it. He needed our people to go back and try to take the Commonwealth. If Pamela already knew about his plan and already chopped up his henchmen, chopped up his person, that means he didn't have anybody but a Carol. That's why he kept asking her, so what are we going to do? What's the plan? What's the next steps? What are you going to do? He know Carol doesn't care about the Commonwealth. That's why he tried to get her to care. Like, okay, if you don't care, help me get it. Help me get it so I can run it. What about the kids? What about this?
The kids, right.
So I'm pretty sure he was sincere. He didn't want anything to happen to a Daryl or Carol.
I think he might have been sincere saying in the way that, yeah, I hope nothing happened to Daryl, as kind of like how you explained it. Not because he cared about Daryl as a human being, but it was more like because I need him to help me get to the rest of my plan.
Right.
And that's kind of how I took
like
it.
Right now, I need people.
Yeah, none of it sounded sincere, like he cared or he wanted to change. He wanted a change to where now he'll be on top. To me, that's what he wanted.
That's what it felt like to me.
It also felt like he was always trying to prove himself. Like even though he talked the talk and dressed the dress and blah, 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 and, hung out with the rich, he still never felt like he was one of them. Because every time he did have a disgruntled thing, he brought up his past, or I'm just this to you guys, or I'm a chauffeur's son. So, like, to me, he was letting that, like, instead of saying, like, I come from humble beginnings and using that and, like, I know the people, I am the people. It was like he was trying to separate himself from being one of the regulars so much. And I feel like if they would have let him, if he didn't try to do what he did and they let him live, he probably would have tried to come back in a bad way. Yeah,
and I can understand his bitterness. When you help somebody build something from the ground up, or when, like, the world fell. When the world fell and you helped come up with a new plan, build a commonwealth, keep people in order, because he was over the stormtroopers and everything.
Right.
When you're doing all that and somebody still tell you would never be anything, then it's kind of discouraging.
Yeah, or you're just a so-and-so son. So like, who? I got this far?
I think that's why he was trying to branch out. When he went for the hilltop, when he went for Alexandria, Oceanside, he wasn't going for there to give back to Angela. Mm-hmm. He was trying to get that for himself.
Right. Okay.
I thought. Now I'm about to go into I don't know, because he said there's a train, so he must have been doing this for a while. There must be other towns. That's why Pamela went to go see Alexandria. That's why she went to go see Oceanside, the hilltop. It's because, this is what they do. So if there's a train, he said the train is going to the sea. That's how far the train goes. So there's different towns, different stops, everything along the train line. And if he would have got a hold of Alexandria, would have got a hold of Hilltop, they would have been an extension of the train line. I think that's what I'm getting out of that.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. I mean, who knows? They may do a switcheroo on us since it is the last few episodes. And it may just be on some, oh my goodness, they're actually taking these people to a better place. Like, it could be a switcheroo. It could not even be...
It could be Mercer. Mercer's doing it.
Yeah, it could be something that we don't even know that's happening. Like, it may be the opposite of what we believe.
Well, I think that they're actually trying to get rid of the people. They're not trying to take them to a better place. But if Mercer has anything to do with it, he's behind it. Say, okay.
He might intercept.
Well, not intercept. He could have his stormtroopers, his people say, hey, let's take them. We're going to take them, drop them off here.
Yeah, a safe place or something. A safe place or no?
Yeah, they could be going to a safe place. But one thing we know for sure is we know that Daryl may not make it since he has a spin-off. Because remember, we was wondering, how did everybody separate? How did these people go this way, these people go this way?
Yeah.
So maybe Daryl and Kara are not supposed to catch up with them.
Right.
Not supposed to save them, man. Maybe they are going to a better place due to Mercer. And we already know that Pastor Gabriel, who's with Pastor Gabriel?
Probably Rosita.
No, Rosita's not with them. It was Pastor Gabriel, Aaron. Was it?
No, Aaron's on the road.
But who was Aaron with?
Jerry.
Oh, it was Jerry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So we already know that Jerry, Aaron, and there's
Lydia.
Oh, Lydia.
And no, not the boy's name. I forgot the young kid's name.
Okay, so we know those four are together, and they're going to Oceanside. So
Aaron has to come back for Gracie.
If Gracie's there. Gracie could be...
They got the kids, remember?
Yeah, Gracie could be on a plane. But I'm saying that this may be how everybody got separated.
Right. And how they're doing all these spinoffs.
Yeah, to where you got all these spinoffs coming. But going back to the point I was making before, where I was saying that what I thought it was before, that he was trying to get these and he be over it, to what I know it is now, to where they just do this, get towns. But it could be both.
Okay.
It could be both. He could have just decided with this group of people or with these towns that, hey, if you don't want to run it, because remember, Pamela didn't want the towns after she seen, which one did she see? Hilltop? She went there.
She saw all of them.
Yeah, but she was on board with one of the towns, probably Alexandria. She was on board, like, yeah, this is nice. Then when she got to another town, she looked at them crazy. So I'm guessing she got the Hilltop and like, what the hell you bring me to?
Right.
Where's the town at?
Right.
When she wasn't on board with that, that's when he said, hey, I'll run it, or I'll oversee it for you. So it could be both.
All right. Well, Chantel continues. She has kidnapped. How in the hell did they manage to get all of our people on the bus? Even the kids? I heard they took Dog too. Did they take Coco? You can't drug that baby. It could kill her. What the hell is going on? Yes, we just kind of talked about that, but where is the baby? Did they have a car seat, or is the baby on Rosita's lap? And did they drug Rosita and the baby? Because if they drug Rosita, the baby can't sit on her lap. Yeah,
right now it's a crazy situation.
Yeah, or the kids. The kids are too small. You can't drug a kid. You don't know what could happen. The adverse effects. But, all right, she has randomness. Tommy is so hot, even in that members only jacket. You know what? Tommy would be hot if he wasn't such a scared pussycat. I'm tired of him every time. Like, just keeping his head down. No, don't do this. Like, you're so effing scared. Like the new Eugene. Like, grow some balls. Jeez. Anywho, 2. I really hope that wasn't Connie and Yumi's final goodbye. Someone has to die soon. Yeah, I'm actually... When they show Connie, I didn't even recognize her. Because I'm like, is that the same? Did they switch out character? She looks like she had a nice nap. Like, she looks refreshed. Her skin was glowing. Like, she looked younger. So I thought it was switched. Well,
we haven't seen her for a couple episodes.
That's true. I'm like, is that the same actress? And Gary's like, yeah, same one. I'm like, she looked younger. But,
she was on vacation.
Yeah, she's been vacationing. But the thing I don't like about this whole Connie situation is, one, we haven't seen her that often. And 2, did they just decide no longer to have Connie and Daryl, like, I know they never technically hooked up, but see some love connections. And I guess after she almost died, they decide never to try to do that.
Well, there's a lot of things they never brought back. That's one of them. And the Resistance.
Yeah, you keep talking about the Resistance.
Like, where's the Resistance
Right.
Like, we got that whole scene. I mean, did they change writers?
Yeah. Chantel, let us know.
Chantel, let us know.
Let us know. Unless that's the resistance that kidnapped everybody. But no, why would you try to kidnap people that way? Like, trying to hurt them to say I'm helping you? No.
Like, we haven't heard them speak of the resistance, say it, nothing.
Yep. 3, why do I have so many emotions about Eugene? I don't want him to die. Yeah, we'll see. 4, I appreciate that they are getting rid of these ancillary characters. We have 4 episodes left. We need to get to the meat of this story and wrap it up. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so it's 4 episodes.
And she said, have a wonderful week, Very Excited Fam. And then let me go back because she did send one more thought here. Oh, she also said, will we be covering the spinoffs? Please say yes. I don't know if we'll be covering the spinoffs.
Yeah, we don't know. I think we're going to go back. Well, first of all, we have, and we keep saying we have episodes of, what is the name of the show?
The Last Days of Tom Lee Gray.
Yeah, so we have those basically recorded.
We have like two more episodes. And since it's already out, since it's already done, we just want to put the whole season out.
Yeah, we're holding and putting everything out. We're going to be like Netflix.
Yeah. And then...
But we're also going to go back to OJ.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, we got so many good reviews on our People vs. OJ podcast.
Yeah, that was a big one for us.
And we said at the time that we were going to go back and have a debate after, and we never got around. About the real case, and we never got around to it. So we are going to go back to the real case, and after we watch that, me and Nicole we'll take different sides on. She thinks OJ is guilty. I'm saying I don't know. Well, I think OJ's guilty also.
I don't know. I don't know for sure, but the evidence looked like he was guilty.
Yeah, but we're going to argue each side. Her argument is going to be for. My argument is going to be against.
Yeah.
And just based off the evidence and everything from the show and from the actual case, the documentary.
Yeah, yeah. And I think there's some other shows we want to do, like House of Dragons, possibly, or even we were supposed to do the Monica Lewinsky one, which now I'm starting to feel weird. I know we just talked about OJ one, but I am starting to feel weird when you're like podcasting or talking about like having entertainment for stuff that's real life. It's been discussed a lot lately, but I was so young when the OJ thing happened and Monica Lewinsky, so I would like to just kind of view it from an adult standpoint, you know?
Right.
So I still want us to podcast on that.
And I don't think it's weird once they put it out and put a show about it.
Yeah, Monica Lewinsky was like an executive producer on this.
So I think once they put the show out, it's just free game to pod on. I can have an opinion on it now.
Okay, yeah. All right, her one more thought here from Chantel. She goes, have you guys noticed that Ezekiel has been wearing scarves again? What if his tumor is back? And so when the dude injected the drugs into him on the bus and went to the tumor and didn't actually knock him out? Bloodbath. Okay, I'm done for this time. Bye.
You know what? One thing we didn't speak on is the beginning. And before we speak on this, thank you, Chantel.
Yes, thank you, Chantel.
And hopefully the Ezekiel thing is true. Maybe his tumor came back. And that's why, and that's what I'm saying. One thing we didn't speak on is the beginning when Carol, when she was speaking to Ezekiel, when he walked to the bakery with the kid.
Oh, yeah.
And she turned around and he was gone.
Yeah.
Maybe that was like a foreshadow of he's not going to make it. He's not there.
Because there's no way someone could have took him that quick and that quietly, even though they came like seconds later, but on the other end. They came in front of her. He was behind her.
Right.
And so that'd be weird if they were able to take him that quietly so quickly.
Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe they didn't take him. Maybe that was just her seeing it as intuition.
Yeah, maybe or ghost, the ghost of Ezekiel future.
Because maybe you're right, Chantel, or Chantel, you know if you're right or wrong.
Yeah, you wrote. You're writing. You wrote somewhere.
Maybe his tumor came back and that's why she's seen him. Because there's no way they took him.
Well, I did think about
take him in that scene.
I thought about his tumor when Yumiko was like, oh, my brother, I don't know how to pronounce it, thoracic surgeon, whatever she said. I was like, thoracic, does that mean neck or like throat? Like, so is he the one that did the surgery on Ezekiel? And then when the guy put the needle, shot him up at the end, I said, once again, how is that going to affect his tumor situation? So I haven't noticed the scarf because Ezekiel is like, it feels like he's been wearing a scarf for so long that it's making sense that maybe his tumor came back, which is so sad. And it's common, especially if he has to get like multiple procedures or like chemo, stuff like that. So it's possible because when she said her brother's like full title, I was like, that's so random that she said the full title. I don't know. I recognized that she said it.
I didn't think that was random. I thought maybe she wanted everybody to know that when she said the full title, I didn't even understand it, so I knew it was important.
Well, that's why I didn't even know how to pronounce it, because I'm like, but
I knew it was important, so I think she wanted to let the people know how important he was.
I was like, thoracic what? And I'm like, whatever that sounds, it sounds like throat, which was where his neck is, so you might be onto something, Chantel, but you would know more than us. Just, tell us how this thing ends. So, but thank you so much for writing it in. We appreciate it. Always good feedback.
Always.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into I Am Fair and Shit, Most Likely to Die. Gary, who do you got for I Am Fair and Shit?
I have to give it to Eugene. Eugene knows what's at stake. I don't know if I mentioned him last week, whether I gave it to him for turning himself in. I probably didn't, and that's why I'm giving it to him.
I was like, he only had one little scene, so I'm surprised.
Turn himself in, but I think this is stand up or Eugene, what he's doing. He saw something which... Me personally, I know I said, why? It's my own business. Mm-hmm. What's going on? Her doing a lottery, that's not affecting you.
I mean, it's wrong.
Yeah.
If she's picking the lottery winner.
Morally wrong, yeah, but it's also giving people hope that they're playing lottery.
False hope.
Well, yeah, it's false hope, but it's hope. I mean, they have activities for people. I don't. That's just an activity. I mean, what did they do? I mean, did they put money in the pot for the lottery? Yeah, I don't understand. I think what is wrong about the community is, if somebody do something they don't like, they get rid of them. People are disappearing.
Or trying to silence people.
Well, and that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
But Eugene, knowing what's at stake, knowing he's not going to make it out of this, may not make it out of this right here, and being okay with it, he's the one giving encouraging words. I have to give the I Ain't Fair and Shit to him.
Okay. When you first said, I was like, I don't know. But yeah, after hearing your explanation, I get it. I have actually been trying to think throughout the pod now, like, okay, Yumiko, what she did was brave. Connie, and then Carol and Daryl were pretty brave.
Well, I wouldn't give it to Daryl. I'm going to explain to you why. Mm-hmm. And I thought about giving it to Carol, because Carol is really the only person that not survived, but the only one that got away. Yeah. But if you think about it, she had to save Daryl. Yeah, she did. So Carol's the only one that really got away.
But it's I Ain't Fair and Shit.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's I Ain't Fair and Shit. But I was thinking about it. I'm like, hold up, Carol's the only one, everybody but her.
Yeah. Well, since I'm gonna follow your lead then in a way of giving it to someone that I'm not fair and shit, because not that they fought hard physically or anything like that, but they did something not for their personal self that could put their personal self in harm, physical harm, and or their family, and for the greater good. So I Ain't Fair and Shit, I'm gonna give it to Yumiko.
Well, that's a good one.
Yeah. I think it might be her first time. I wish we had a list every episode of who we picked all these years.
I'm gonna go back and listen to the list, and I'm gonna see how many times we were right
about the I Am Fair. Well, we can't be right about I Am Fair and Shit, but Most Likely to Die.
Yeah, Most Likely to Die. 7 times we were right with that.
That'll take a long time, because we've been potting on Walking Dead since season 6. So
well, at least do a season at a time.
Yeah, at least look at this first season that we did, and then keep going. Yeah, that'd be fun. And Chantel actually mentioned, I don't know if we mentioned last episode, but she mentioned us doing the best of, I think I talked about it on last episode, the top 5 episodes, the top 5 villains, the top whatever. So if you have any of your top 5, whatever it is that you think may be, I'm sure we can figure out a category for them. Just send it in dead@theverdictsend.com, your top 5 episodes, your top 5 characters, your top 5 deaths. I know a death that was so gruesome. I don't want to say it, but I know it's going to make my list. So yeah, I just think of that character all the time. Poor them. Okay, so Most Likely to Die then. Who do you got?
This may be a little too early, but I think it's going to be Carol. We already know that Carol's not going to be on the new show with Daryl, so they're going to have to get rid of her in these next 4 episodes. Did Chantel say 4 episodes, or this was 1 and we have 3 more?
Maybe 4 more left.
Okay, so they're going to have to get rid of her. And they probably was happy when she said she's not coming along. They're like, oh, yes. Right. We kill somebody off of importance. Yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and roll the dice and say she's dying next episode.
Okay, we'll see. Well, my Most Likely to Die for next week, I don't know. Chantel was making a lot of sense with Ezekiel. Now, if you're saying that the drug may not affect him because if he does have a tumor, this is a lot of what ifs. But he may end up having to sacrifice himself, and it kind of makes sense given the fact that Aaron already called Jerry, King Jerry.
King Jerry, yeah.
And we saw where his new kingdom can be.
Right.
Where they will be, where they can actually start a new world, a new life, and not be like having the people that are on top and the people that are on bottom. So, which I like. So I am going to say most likely die is probably King Ezekiel, and he will be missed because he was an amazing character. I'm already like mourning his death. I feel so strongly about it. So King Ezekiel may die. And then what if Jerry like kills himself too? Like, no, I have to go with my king. Jerry is so loyal. He's like the most loyal. We need top 5 most loyal.
I think he's going to be more loyal to his family and the kids.
Yeah. Because remember, he used to be super loyal to the king. So, yeah. I mean, he still is. But, all right. That is all we got. As always, we appreciate you guys listening. We hope to have a lot more stuff in 2023. Maybe even video podcasts soon. In 2023. So that's going to be our year of potting, because we'll have been potting for like 8 years by then, or something close to it. We started potting in 2015.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't do the math. So, all right. Thank you guys so much. I'm Nicole.
I'm Gary.
Bye.